Thank you so much for joining this call. And I'm Dishant from Mage Govan. I'm really a big fan of yours. I'm really excited to return you like few questions we have. Hello all. We currently have Jazzy. Please share something about yourself, Jazzy,
Hi
for the
guys.
audience.
So as Nishant explained, I've been in this field of animation for the last 13 years. I specialize in 2D hand-drawn frame-by-frame animation, but I'm also the creator of the Beast Legion, epic fantasy web manga series that you can read online for free actually at www.thebeastlegion.com because I want to bring my story out to the world. That's why I've kept it completely free for everybody to read. Of course, you can buy print copies as well, but that's for a later date. So, like I said, I've been in this field for a very long time. I specialize in anime style art, and that's exactly my niche. That's why I get a lot of work from companies, not only in India but in abroad as well. So, it's been an amazing 13 years. There's always something new to learn every year. Softwares, whether it's techniques, everything basically. So yeah, so I'm here to share a little bit of my experience based on the questions that I get, and let's see where we can take this forward.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much. I have also been, I was actually doing few 2D animation, 3D modelings and all those things back in my college days. So
Okay.
I'm currently in technical field right now, building AI models and all those things. So I
Oh,
usually speak at events related to tech, but I'm really like, uh, I'm excited or what, I'm not sure, but it's really good to have you. So,
I'm happy to be here.
the first question which we have here is, what initially drew you to this field, and how has your experience shaped the way you approach the storytelling right now? Like, yeah, please share something about
Yeah.
it.
So my interest in cartoons has been since I was a kid, like probably 3 years, because I started watching stuff like He-Man, Thundercats. Thundercats again is something that's not known a lot in India, but it was actually the series from which all the animators later went on to form Studio Ghibli. And of course, that's a trend right now that's happening. So, coincidence or not, but yeah, Thundercats has been a huge part of my inspiration when it came to drawing. And I started drawing at a very young age of like 4 or 5. My brother was already into arts by that time. So I used to get inspired by him as well. But then my true calling came during 2007 when Naruto first aired. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
actually how my whole journey started. My interest for anime doubled. Like I used to watch Dragon Ball Z back then on AXN. There were a lot of shows coming up like Granda Musashi, Yamato Takeru. There was plenty. I mean, Ninku, which started all.
Multiple animes, yeah.
So I've always been into that anime kind of feel. I like long form storytelling. That's how I also decided to take my manga's approach as not just one shots but a long form story. So that is something. Naruto is something that pushed me to start
Into
creating
this.
my own
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Lovely.
Before that, I was all like, I was doing concept art, I was doing monster designs. I would do a lot of He-Man fan art because I'm one of the largest collectors of He-Man toys in probably in Mumbai.
Wow.
So I'm a huge fan of He-Man. I mean, that's my first, interest. But then Naruto took over, and then Naruto kind of, like I always say in all my interviews, it's kind of become a part of my life. You get my point? I go
Yeah,
by his ideals.
definitely.
I follow a lot of things that are inculcated in that manga, in that anime. And what's most important is that I got to know that manga gets translated into anime. So that's when I started going back and reading the mangas from chapter one, and I saw the growth in style. I mean, even Kishimoto's style, there's been a tremendous growth from where it started to where it came now. Same with One
Yes.
Piece or any other manga.
Yeah.
So I started with Naruto, then came Bleach, then came Full Metal Alchemist, then came One Piece, and that's how I kind of started getting interested in that style. This whole visualization of turning a manga page into an animation, and that's actually how I started my animation journey. It was by creating fan animations of Naruto, basically. So I would create a fan animation 2 years before it actually released in the anime.
So by just by just like reading the manga, you created the animation and then put it.
So they're on my old YouTube account. I will send you guys the link so you guys
Sure,
can check
sure.
out some of the old ones. And some of them have like crossed 1 million views on YouTube. Unfortunately, that channel got kind of hacked, so I had to
Oh,
start a new one. But
it
yeah,
happens.
so
Yeah.
that's where the journey started. And then, of course, got good with my skills. I started developing new skills. I did a course on how to use Photoshop and stuff like that. For the
Oh,
longest time, I was drawing with a mouse. Like, till I was like 22, I was drawing with a mouse. After that, I got a tab in 2007.
oh,
And that's when I started like leveling up really fast and developing skills in Photoshop, in Clip Studio Paint and stuff like that. And then I released my manga in 2010.
lovely, lovely. That's really amazing story to be honest. Like how I do personally understand about the mouse part because when I was doing the animation and the illustration part, I was using mouse. And right now, as a hobby, I do have Wacom tablet, a small one, and also a pad where I sometimes if I go outside and I draw something. So yeah,
Our
I
Wacom
do
Intros
understand.
Pro is a blessing. I mean, I
Yes,
just use the Wacom Intros Pro for everything. So it's been doing me really good. So yeah.
definitely. Definitely. So, by the way, I got to know that you were recently a jury member for a manga competition at WAM event in Mumbai. So, what kind of trends or talent stood out to you, and how do you see Indian manga scene growing from here? Like, how was it? How was the experience?
So first coming to the event, it was actually quite an eye opener because there were kids ranging from 12 to 13 years participating to a mother that had come with her son and she was also
Oh,
participating. So I think she was 42 or something. So that was really interesting to see that manga has now had such a huge impact. When I started, I had to do manga. That was my calling. But at that time, there was not much of a reach when it came to manga or anime. There were like 10, 15 cosplayers cosplaying at the first event. And now, if you see, 50% of the cosplayers are cosplaying anime manga characters, which goes to show the impact that the manga field has. And now it's more, kids are getting impacted to get into this field. Parents are getting to know that there might be a career in this field. Hopefully, this event waves will actually elevate that perception more so among parents than among kids because kids are now first getting familiar with anime, but the parents still don't know if it's a way to go forward. And I will still say that we are not there yet, all right? This is going to be a start. It's going to take time for us to build a system to create mangas, to create anime. It's going to take time. But I guess this is a very good first step in making those things possible.
definitely,
Now,
definitely.
that depends on how the publishers look at this scenario, how many publishers get into publishing self-published artists because most of the anime manga scene is on self-published basis right now.
Yeah.
There are no long-running mangas or anything in India, and I don't think long-running mangas are at the moment even possible right now.
Yeah.
Even I've been struggling to get my manga out there. All right, when it
Oh,
comes to print copies, even today, because we don't have a distribution system.
yes. We
It's
should
very
be
hard
channel for it.
it's hard for a self-published artist to get a book out in a print store because there are a lot of processes involved. You get my point? And by the time
Yeah.
those processes are done, you lose all your money. You have to do the printing, you have to do the distribution, you have to do the marketing, which becomes very difficult, especially when you also have to have a secondary job, like a full-time job, because
Yeah.
this at the moment can be treated as a secondary income. All right, your manga creation process, it's still not a full-time initiative as a
I see it.
self-publisher. I mean, if you're working for a company, that's fine. You're getting your salary, you're getting paid. But if you're self-publishing, it's not a full-time income. You need a full-time income to get the
To
ball
do
rolling
those
and
things. Yeah.
support yourself. So that's the thing. But I was really happy that there are so many people starting to get interested. I mean, this Mumbai event was just for Mumbai. There have been events happening in Nagpur, Ahmedabad, thanks to
Yes.
Media and Entertainment Association of India, where I actually met Rakshita. So it was great to know that this is all happening, on this scale. And hopefully it will only grow because there are a lot of positive news coming from the government and stuff like that I've heard. So I believe there's going to be a huge grant that is going to be that given only to create IPs in India, like anime manga IPs in India. So it's going to be, let's see how all that materializes. But overall, it's a very positive outcome that I saw there. There were, I think, like 60 to 70 people who entered this contest on a very short notice. And it was all done live. So they were given scripts live on the set and they had to create the manga or animation also. There were people who were doing animation as well. So there were three categories: anime, manga, and webtoons. So I was quite interested, like, especially the animation part because they were actually doing live animation while this whole 7 hour process. So it was a very
Something
good
amazing.
experience.
Yeah, it's like a stepping stone for all of the creatives who are out there who want to get their manga
The first
somewhere at
step
least.
of
Yeah,
that for sure. And hopefully it will
definitely.
only keep growing.
Yes, I totally appreciate that, and I hope that there would be a platform where any creator who wants to create their manga, they can publish it, they can get some channelized place, so it does not get difficult for the future creators.
I'll give you some news on that as well. So that is also in the works. Let's see how
Oh,
it materializes, but that is also the plan. So we see how things go forward, but it is positive news for sure. There is
okay,
to
I
be a
see.
UGC platform coming up hopefully.
That's amazing. We can keep like you can tell about it at the end so that every viewer can understand
And
more.
even I don't have the details, but I know that it's going to happen. So
Oh,
that's all I can
okay.
say for now.
Yeah, no issues. I can understand. Few things has to do. By the way, about the Beast Legion part, as you're the creator and you have it like for the first and longest running web manga, what are the biggest challenges you faced getting it off the ground and keeping it on going all the years? Because as you mentioned, there is no channelization, and currently we have to struggle about it. How how,
Literally.
how did you do it?
Literally. So even today, there are a lot of challenges involved when you're creating a manga from India because again, social media limits you to India, right? The whole social media framework
Yeah,
now limits you to the local population, right? So it's very difficult to get my manga out there, but even so, my 80% readership of East Region comes from UK, US, and Germany.
wow.
6% comes from India actually. You'll be
Okay,
surprised about that.
okay,
So of
that's
course,
something.
the problem is right now people are not that ready to, that what at least what I understand is people are still not ready to go online and read stuff and kind of get the whole feel of it. But
Yeah,
the other biggest problem is, like I said, the distribution. The thing is, I can do as much as I can. I can go on social media, I can put up my stuff, I can encourage people to view it, whether they view it or not, again. But that is limited. We don't have a platform or a web manga specific advertising platform
yes,
which can get stuff out there. We don't have enough influencers who are focused on getting Indian content out there. They are mostly talking about animes, the latest animes that are coming out. Like
yeah,
they come up with
true.
those weird comedy stuff, which is fine. I mean, that works for them. But I believe that when influencers take the initiative of helping fellow manga creators, fellow anime artists get their work out there, and I'm saying from my personal experience with this Vrindavan Chronicles thing. So I was told like some people that they would really help out and all that in circulating. Nobody really showed up at the end, but still it went viral and it's happening. But like I said, that's the problem, right? We don't have an ecosystem that supports the manga anime initiative. दूसरी बात है महंगा है इंडिया से आया है तो वो महंगा तो नहीं है वो एक दूसरी बात रहती है
Point of
ऑलवेज
view.
some people's mind and that influence carries forward
I see.
doesn't affect me because I'm going with this style throughout, and it has paid me like even like East Region is doing well. Okay, I don't make a lot of money out of it. It's my passion project, but because of that, I've got so much work coming out. Like so much work that I've worked with, like people, companies across like out of India, and I've
Yeah,
done promos, I've done anime style intros over the years. So to help people get their comics out there, and these are all good paying projects. So right now, actually, I'm directing another series. which I can't really fully disclose. But yeah, that's also going on very well. And the team is completely Indian. It's the people who work with me. So the animation is going to be completely Indian, but it's for an American company. So that's
Okay.
going on right now. I wish I could give a lot of details, but right now I
Yeah,
can't because of the NDA.
I do understand. When coming from the part where I work in industry, I can completely understand your perspective that how much we have to keep things confidential about the products. So
Yeah.
yeah, but my take is like our local enthusiasts who are manga enthusiasts, anime enthusiasts, plus the influencers. I would like to request you all that we as a Indian culture, we should actually promote, create awareness about the Indian creators who have been creating a lot of contents which can help our own generation, our own people to get something out of it because
Trust me that
it's
there
India's
are
GDP. We want to grow. So yeah,
right. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but like I said, it's not just me. There are plenty of creators creating some really, really cool stuff out there. So,
definitely.
and
Yeah,
that too, anime and manga creators. So, I wish more focus was put on that, but let's see how things go. Like this is still, like I said, it's an evolving system. Like
yes,
years back, we didn't have anime influencers. All this started post COVID and all that. You get my point.
yeah,
So it's a fast rising market. Hopefully, people will understand the value of creators and kind of start supporting them, sharing their work, not just on Instagram through a story, but probably through WhatsApp with their friends. Because
definitely.
always understand, Instagram is just a social media platform. Your personal communication, your
Mouth to mouth
WhatsApp,
interaction. Yeah,
interaction, that is actually what gets a product off the line, not your social media. Social media is just one tool to get your stuff out there. And I
yes,
hope more
definitely.
people jump on board because I've seen this massive support for my latest animation. So I'm very grateful to everybody. I mean, 14,000 likes is something, 14,000 shares actually.
Yeah,
Not 14,000 likes, 14,000 shares is something that I've never seen before. So that's something that really is motivating me now to create more content based on that.
definitely. I really like your background. It's your artwork. I do remember it. So coming back to the artwork part, like your work is really beautifully fused together the anime aesthetics and the Indian culture, especially the crossover series with anime characters and Indian gods. What goes into striking that balance between fan art and cultural storytelling?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, like, please explain us like how exactly you do it.
So So I've been drawing Krishna for the longest time. Okay, it all begins again with Krishna. All right, I'm a huge fan of the stories, the mythology involved, the whole good versus evil struggle in that particular Krishna Leela, which brought me to creating my first artwork in 2014. So if you go on Google, it's still trending on number one. So if you
Oh,
go on Google and search Krishna anime, that art still is on number one. And I've been drawing Krishna ever since. I don't know what drives me to do that, but that's where it all started, all right. So when my account got hacked, the first account, which was Jazyl HR, okay, that was my
oh,
first Instagram account, which had like 14,000 followers, and it got hacked.
oh.
There was no means of recovery, nothing. So that happened in 2019, and in 2019, towards the end, I started this new account, the Jazyl Draw. So now I go by this ID on my YouTube as well as Instagram. So I wanted to create something that I cannot just show my anime drawing skills. All right, I wanted to bring about something different in perspective because that's what I do. I do things that are a first of its kind. I pick up topics that generally other people haven't done because that's where the whole surprise lies. So this Animax mythology was just a random fluke where I was drawing Krishna in this pose where he's, powering up an attack. And then I kind of put two and two together, like Krishna and Naruto both have very similar stories. They were separated from their parents. They have both have powers hidden within which they initially, of course, Krishna knew his powers, like he was like a demigod, so he knew. But still, there is a striking use of chakra, and all those concepts kind of intertwine. So I said, why not have Krishna holding a Rasengan and Naruto helping him train? And that's when the very first artwork came into being. Like, so I drew this Krishna Naruto team up, and that artwork kind of propelled my account from 5,000 followers, which I already had, to around, no, I had 3,000 followers, and this propelled it to almost 5,500 in a week.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. To
So,
be honest, I've seen that art. I really liked
20,000
it.
likes is what it got the first time I posted it. And then that kind of sparked, like, with similar, like, why not pick two very similar characters from mythology? And it's a great way to, blend cross culture. Like, some people might take offense to it, but I don't do it that way. My aim is to bring two cultures together. So the Japanese pop culture and our local culture that
Mythology,
drives
culture. Yeah,
on gods, and we have such a rich culture. Like, there are so many stories that are not even told. Like, even I might not be knowing so many of them.
definitely.
Like, there's this demon called Asiloma, which has like these, his hair is basically blades.
Oh,
So I never knew of that until I saw one question in KBC, and then I started designing that.
okay. I see.
These are things that I get to pick up. Then I do a little research. I did a lot of research on Ramayana, and like Krishna Lila. I was taught by my aunt in like when I was very young. So I know the monsters involved. I know everything that's gone through it, right from that to the Mahabharata. My Mahabharata is not very strong, but my Krishna Lila, I know what's like. Now the thing was, how do I blend these two? So next came Son Goku and Hanumanji.
Yeah,
Both are kind of like the ape category. So both have very similar strong determination to fight for good. Both kind of use spirit energy. Actually, that same thing is with Hanuman and Luffy as well. Actually, so Luffy can change his size. Hanumanji can change his size. So
definitely.
think about these things. So that was the second one. Then I chose Yamaji from Bleach and Yamraj from
Indian
Indian mythology.
culture. Yeah,
Again, both are death gods.
definitely. Yeah, that's true.
So these are the concepts. I make sure that these two characters have some relevance. All right, two characters that have some relevance, combine them so that more people from across the world know about our culture as well, and they know it through culture that they're already aware of, which is anime. Because anime is now widespread. I mean, whether you like it or not, anime has a more like a huge appeal globally now.
Definitely. Yeah, it is.
I mean, highest pirated anime episodes India ranks
Yeah.
first.
Like
So,
every episode is crashing the servers of Crunchyroll and
exactly,
so
exactly. So
many.
what better way to merge cultures, right? I mean, some people might take offense, but that's fine. I'm not doing it out like I'm doing it for the good of it.
No, to be honest, it is really good because nowadays, our generation, the new generation, which is going to be watching anime and the cartoons. So there has to be some kind of linkage to spread a message about our culture, how Indian culture was and what exactly it is, because this message will be lost if they are not aware of it. We have to teach them in the way that they can learn.
And
Even
secondly, sorry to interrupt, but this is one point I have to make. So when I show them together, some people think that they are going against each other. Like when clearly they are working together. Now,
yeah,
Krishna would definitely help someone who is good in fighting a demon, right? Whether
definitely.
he can solo it or whether not, he would still help out. Maybe he can solo the whole universe, whatever. That's the question I keep getting. So Krishna can solo the whole universe and all that. But that's fine. But that doesn't mean stop him from helping somebody out, right?
Yes.
That is the thing. People need to get that aspect. Fine, it's good that Krishna can solo, but then that level of cooperation, that's how you mix the culture, right?
Yeah. Even
So
Krishna ji would have soloed the whole Mahabharata, but he didn't choose it.
you choose correct.
Yeah, he was just a Sarthi for Arjun. So That's
very
how it
rarely
is.
even use his powers unless it was like really necessary.
Yeah,
So that's the thing. So people need to understand that, and I'm glad I'm putting it out through this podcast.
thank you. And the next part, since we are on the topic about Krishna ji, so the next part is what inspired you to blend the mischievous charm of Bal Krishna ji and Zeno? Like I saw your art, which was like uh, Bal Krishna is like stopping Zeno, or else the Earth would get destroyed when he clicks on the Earth planet.
That's Vishnu. That's Vishnu ji.
Acha, it's
So
Vishnu
that's
ji.
the
Okay.
whole series that I've done in anime mythology. That Zenos have come on a vacation on Mount Kailash.
Oh.
So it starts with them, high priest leaving them with Shiva.
Uh-huh.
Then Ganesh ji is put in charge of them because Shiva is busy meditating. And then these people keep irritating Shiva, so Ganesh ji takes them away, and they end up in Vishnu's kind of place where all the balance of power and stuff is kept, like the whole sun moving and everything, and they hold the sun close to the earth, which is why global warming is happening. So that was the concept. So it's like if you see my old posts, it's like a whole stories. So
Yeah.
I've not done this like consecutively in weeks. So there are things that come in between also. There are artworks, but once in a while I put these artworks. They are playing Holi with Ganesh, then they go to Vishnu's eye and they are causing trouble. So they are causing mischief all over Kailash. Then Moro comes in and Ganesh takes care of Moro.
Yes.
We've seen that artwork as well.
Definitely. And even in that art, like Ganesh ji is watching from the window that
Correct.
these guys are doing
Yeah,
something
yeah.
weird
So that
and
is how we let them go, and now they are creating havoc.
yeah.
So there
It's
will be a
like
completion to that as well, and then I'll post the entire series as a carousel.
yeah, I have seen it. Like it's really amazing and that's why it came to my mind like how this came together, like what exactly inspired it. Yeah,
You know,
it's really amazing. It is funny to see it like that. And like can you like walk us through like your typical creative process, and especially when you work on something original such as East Legion and also Indian Gods with dynamic characters, like versus the social media piece or any client work?
correct, correct. So this mythology characters, the gods that I draw, that comes like straight from the heart. So I put a little effort. I've been doing these since like 2014. So now I know how certain, like I have a clear grip of certain characters like Shivji, Vishnu. So I have proper designs for them. Ganesh ji. If you ask me to probably draw Karthikeya or some other, I'll have to probably think and start creating from scratch. But gods like Indra, Ravan, Ram, Krishna, Varaha, all those designs I've created over the years. So to redraw them now becomes very easy for me.
I
I mean,
see.
I can draw them in any situation that's given because I've been redrawing them a lot of times.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Beast Legion and the manga specifically, I go with a very systematic approach. So I have a script, panel by panel script that I personally write. Now, certain episodes, if they come in between, there are certain changes that always come. Like they always go in my mind. Like I have a fixed story, but there are certain changes that I incorporate. So I have a general script already ready with what the panels look like, with what the page would look like. So if you have that, thumbnailing becomes very easy. By thumbnailing, I mean just roughly drawing the storyboard in like 5 minutes. All right, I roughly draw the characters in 5 to 10 minutes. I draw the panels and I draw the characters inside them. No high details or anything. Just a very basic. I mean, if I can screen share, I'll probably show it to you in some time. If we can screen share. So
If you share us the image of it, we'll share it
give me a
in
sec. I'll have to open one of the files. So in the meantime, I'll just to tell you the process. Just let me open one of the files. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll just
no issues. Like what I'm saying is, you can share it, share that image onto a
correct.
creative team. They will add it in the video editing part. Like they will showcase it in the video editing. So we don't have
Right,
to
I'll do
screen
that.
share it right
I'll
now.
do that. Of course, I'll do that. Of course, I'll do
Okay.
that. But I'm just trying to see if I can find
Yeah, no problem.
something right now as well to show it to you guys. All right, it's a very rough page. Basically, see that the birds are moving away. There's like these blasts happening all over, and the characters are avoiding the blasts. All right. Now, this takes me 5 to 10 minutes to draw. All right, very roughly. I have the panel set out. Everything is done. Now I go with the line art. Very rough, and this is what the final looks like. This whole process of thumbnailing speeds up your comic creation time by almost 20 to 30%. And that's a method I've been following for a very long time. Yeah, so the process is systematic, it's very systematic, script to thumbnails to line art and then shading. And that's helped me a lot, like throughout these years.
Thank you so much for sharing this insight because it really helps. Like the upcoming manga artist will really like to understand what exactly the storytelling process is, how this process works. Because coming from an experienced person, it's really better to go ahead with it because
And
they might
now,
be, yeah,
yeah,
they might be trying it themselves by watching some YouTube videos, tutorials, but
correct.
when they try to learn it from an experienced person, it changes the whole perspective.
Yeah, so now I don't need references. Like, I've reached the point where I don't need to look at references for drawing poses and stuff, unless it's sometimes very necessary. But the best part for people now is that softwares come inbuilt with, 3D models and stuff, which you just have to pose. You get my point? And you get your pose, you get your perspective, you get your camera angle. So now things are a lot more easier. Back then, all this Clip Studio and all was not there. But
Yeah.
now people put their models in Clip Studio, they just angle it, take the screenshot and draw over it. So all these things are now evolving. But I'm glad I didn't go through that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So thankfully, I didn't rely too much on references of 3D models. I always went by the actual manga panels and stuff like that, which is a better learning curve actually, because you don't rely on anything. You get my point?
Yeah.
You're still drawing because sometimes if you get too reliant on 3D models and stuff, later on when you have to create an animation or something, you get stuck. So,
Definitely.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
that's complicated.
Because it really makes it easier. Like after a period of time, it's just in your mind. This is
Yeah,
how
yeah, it
we have
just
to
becomes
do
a
it.
process.
Yeah.
It just becomes a routine process.
Yes. And even back in the day, there was this Flash, Adobe Flash. So there you have to draw each and every frame to make it
Yeah.
smooth.
So even still I draw each and every frame. I mean, I never rely
Wow.
on rigged or anything. I mean, I actually haven't even gone into rigging models and stuff. I have purely got my attention on 2D animation, which is like frame by frame. Unless in very
Okay.
certain circumstances, I use the puppet tool in After Effects if it's just like basic head movement. But in a general sense, I still stick to hand drawn because that's the best output you can, give to
Yes.
the viewer.
Yeah. It makes it really a good to eye.
Yeah.
Next question we have is like I know you have directed a YouTube series for kids. So
Mm.
can you please describe like how it was different uh, for creating the content for younger audience compared to manga or web comic?
Right. So this series came extremely out of the blue, and it came at a time when I really needed work on that. So I was working with a startup which had just crashed,
Oh,
and I had worked on it for quite some time, but I like stuff happened and it just went down. So I was looking out for something, and a friend approached me that this person wants to create a series. So he has a lot of resources. So he wants to create a series for his grandson. One episode actually
oh,
started with one episode. So I created that one episode. We put it up on YouTube. It went really well, and then we kind of joined with YouTube to create a 10-part series. So it was called Adi and Friends. So the initial point of it was to create a birthday gift for his grandson, an entire episode for his grandson. And that then just went really well, and we were sanctioned to do like a series of 10 episodes.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's when Adi and Friends came into being. And it got a very good response on YouTube from kids because it was on YouTube Kids. So it got a very good response from kids. We started getting response from parents as well. And then this guy decided to make like 10 episodes. And I was there for the 10 episodes. Then it continued, but then they were going more into nursery rhymes and stuff like that, which I wasn't really into. So, but I think they did a very good job with it. I had a lot of fun working on it. I mean, the team was amazing. I worked with some of the best people in the sound industry on this project. I got to learn a lot from it.
Oh, okay.
So that was a great kind of experience till I went fully into freelance. And after that, I've just been into freelance. I've never joined a studio or anything. It's so back in that time, I used to solo. Like I used to get work where I had to create anime promos, anime style intros for people who are creating comics, which is a really huge market that I captured. And that was just keeping going on. And now I'm working on this episodic series. So
Yeah.
it's been like a good.
So, what kind of difference do you see in the kids content, and the regular manga or web comics? Like, what kind of difference it is? Are there any kind of challenges which you have to say?
Yeah, sorry. I,
Good.
so kids content is generally easy to produce because a lot of high quality is not required. You can just move hands and like give the character a little bit of life, and a kid will still love it.
Okay, I
But
see.
when you are looking at long form content, every detail is important. So I'm telling you, the first episode of Ali and Friends we completed, I think, within 12 days. Just me and one other animator. His name was Adarsh. So we just two of us completed a 10-minute episode in 10 days. Because the characters were simple to draw. I mean, we could churn out 3, 4 scenes a day, and it had like 25 to 26 scenes. So we were able to complete that really fast.
I see.
So kids content is still easier to produce. Like if you see some of the biggest kids channels, there's hardly any animation in that channel. It's just backgrounds, characters moving their lips. Generally, like
I see. Yeah,
so you
they
can't like
usually
when
like
you're
to
creating
see
stuff for
colorful things.
YouTube, when you create stuff for YouTube, that's the sacrifice, right? You have to churn out everything fast, otherwise your relevancy goes. I can't do that. I mean, I'm not into relatable content or stuff like that where I'll sacrifice my animation skills for time and money. That's not me. But I will focus rather on getting my styles properly nailed down, drawing my characters like proper in a proper way, in a proper action, so that people. I
Get
mean,
it, the accuracy.
the accuracy. I mean, that's where I go from. I mean, relatable content is fine. It works for some people. So it
Yeah,
works for
definitely.
certain people really well. But I wouldn't go in that approach because then I have a career to make. You get my point? I have a career to make in animation. So I choose to go with the more slower approach. I mean, YouTube, I'm not keen on getting YouTube money or anything like that. I'm getting good money from my work and everything, which is
Definitely.
proper anime style content.
And it brings us to the part about the Vrindavan Chronicles. Like, could you please share something about it? Like, I have been a follower and I've been following it. Like, it's an ongoing project.
I am still a little surprised how viral it's gone. I thought it would go viral. I've put a lot of effort. Like I said, 2.5 months I've dedicated to this series along with my full time job. So
Wow.
6 hours of full time job, 6 hours on this every day. That's how I basically managed this whole thing from December to March. So there's a lot of heart that goes into it because I wanted to make this something really special so that people at least get an idea of what Krishna would look like if it was an anime style, what the monsters would look like, what the villains would look like. This is something, like I said, it's been going on since 2014. I did make this Krishna Naruto animation back in 2020, I think, or 2022.
22 something.
That's when I made it
21,
the first
22
time.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. So it's 3 years back, basically. That's when I made it. And I basically, that was to test out how I can animate Krishna. But this, I wanted to be solely based on India. So I wanted a proper animation where I could showcase Krishna's childhood life, the villains, the whole story that's involved. So basically, animation carries you through the story. You know everything that's happened, all right, in this intro.
Yeah.
You see Krishna's mother, you see his friends, you see the whole Vrindavan coming together, the villains. And that was my aim. I wanted to show that if one person can make something like this, imagine what a team of good artists can do. And we have like really good artists. Trust me, the next generation of animators that is coming out from NID and IIT, they are doing some really, really cool stuff. And hopefully someday 3, 4 studios can collaborate together and make something good, because I think these type of things can only happen when studios collaborate, not 1 or 2 or 3 people. It has to be a collaboration effort of multiple, like background studios, background drawing studios. Like right now, of course, I had no option but to use AI for some of the backgrounds because I'm not a background artist. I have a Creative Cloud connection, so I make the most of it. You get my point. So I used Adobe Firefly to, kind of I picked up styles and I kind of generated the content that I exactly wanted
Got
for
it.
the backgrounds. For the backgrounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't have an option, so I had approached a few background artists, but unfortunately they couldn't be part because they were part of projects. So that was one reason, and I keep getting that flag when we use AI because I am personally not very keen on AI myself. But when push comes to shove, right, I'm not a background artist. If I draw something and then that spoils the beauty of the animation, it doesn't make sense to create an animation.
I was just trying to say, like, if there is any like emerging background artist who wants to collaborate with Jazzy, you can go ahead, ping it on his Instagram, check it out. Like, if you want it. Yeah, because
So
we want
if the
a
if the
collaboration. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
So if I'm planning to work on a series and something big happens, we'll definitely look into that. Right now, this was just a solo attempt, so I have to
Totally
rely on
understand.
AI. But anyway, I am very happy that the response that it got was so phenomenal. I mean, 14,000 likes in 14,000 shares in 2 weeks, 29,000 likes is something really motivating. I mean, I know people get these numbers on regular reels, but for an animation to get that level of attention in India is something really cool, in my opinion. And I'm very happy that all the effort that I put in went into proper use.
Definitely. True that. And so I have one question related to like the international freelancing you mentioned. So how did it affected your style, storytelling? Like, did it influence any way the international freelancing work?
No, I've always been into cartoons and animation, so I observe a lot. I don't have any professional training in animation. All right, I
Okay.
come from an IT background,
Wow.
so I did my BSc in IT and then I moved into animation. I just leaped into animation actually. Like I said, Naruto made me take that plunge, and it
Right.
was for the better. So I started learning from observation. Like I used to read books on animation and stuff to get my basics okay. But mostly it's all from observing different anime. Like that time Naruto was the big deal. Dragon Ball Z was always there. There was Full Metal Alchemist going on in 2011, which greatly affected my, you know, capabilities of observing and drawing characters in action.
Definitely.
So I go based on that. Now, if you tell me to really animate Tom and Jerry and stuff like that, that's not my thing. I mean, the swish and the swoosh is something I'm not very good at animating. In fact, I've let projects go because of that.
Oh,
Certain
okay. I
projects.
see. Okay.
Every animator can't animate everything, all right? So certain animators are very good at animating animals. Certain animators are very good at animating vehicles. Some people are very good at character art. Some people are good at camera handling. So it's not necessary for everybody to know everything. That's why you collaborate with people.
Definitely. That's true.
And that's how good stuff comes out. And that's what I've learned while working on this series that I'm currently working on. So I'm not solo on this. I have like 6, 7 people working in unison. And we are doing an amazing job. Hopefully when it comes out, everybody will love it.
That's really amazing. Like there is a team working behind it. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
idea is Jazyl. By the what kind of message you would like or advice you would like to give our Indian artists who want to build career in anime, manga style storytelling or 2D animation, especially in the market which is still in the baby steps?
Correct, correct. Now that's what I want to say. One very important thing: you can't just jump into anime manga, right? You need to first have your drawing skills and your passion in place. A lot of people right now just kind of go jump into the anime style, just to. But before that, you need to understand the character anatomy, how the body moves, how the character moves. All that training in drawing is necessary. It will take you time. It will take you 1 year, 2 years, sometimes 3 years to learn. But I see a lot of people just rushing into things, just because anime manga is happening. You can't just directly go into that style. That style also has a basis. So you have to first do live drawing, you have to start understanding how the human body functions. Rather than just jumping into anime manga, fine, if it's a one shot, draw it in your style, no issues. But don't make it a sole focus to start with drawing in anime and manga style. It's always first necessary to understand how the normal human body works. Then you can change the proportions, then you can do all sorts of stuff with it. But if your action and your human anatomy isn't good, it's going to be a problem later on. So you will find it a problem later on when you create your own manga. Secondly, stick to your passion. Don't expect money in the first few years. Because until you hone your skills, until your skills are really good, you are competing with the global market. If you're competing with the global market, I'm saying if you want to compete with the global market, your skills really need to be good because a lot of stuff is coming. There's a market for everything out there, all right. You just need to meet the right people, connect with the right people through Facebook, through Instagram, and that's why I always say, along with your passion, along with your skills, your communication is equally important. Because if you're communicating with someone in the US, you have to make sure you get the instructions clearly. Otherwise, he will say something, you will create something else, or you will talk something and they'll understand something else. So it's very important to have great communication. Right.
The three things which they have to be aware of. Don't go with the FOMO of
Correct.
creation of. There's a lot of trends which is currently going about
Yeah,
anime.
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. I mean, go with the trends, that's fine, but don't make it your sole purpose to be on social media, a social
yes,
media legend. You have to build a career because that's where the money will come in eventually. Social media will last for 1, 2 years. Then the algorithm will pull you down, you'll be back to square one.
yes,
So it's
definitely.
necessary to have a good, proper, full-time income coming in, which aligns with your passion. So that's my advice basically to people.
Thank you so much for this advice. I hope this really helps to our upcoming manga creators,
Right.
and let's see how it goes. we
Absolutely.
have we have a Jazzy, and it would be really great to have him here again sometime to let try to give a workshop on 2D animation. Or if you think we can have him for something, give us the idea in the comment section. If you have any doubts for him, you can add it in the comment section below. Ask him personally, whatever you have. Follow us, and that's all. Yeah. Thank you so much for
My
having us.
pleasure. And guys, do watch Vrindavan Chronicles. You can still share it and make it trend even more. So definitely check it out. Nishant will send you the link. So click on that and follow on YouTube and Instagram.
Definitely. Follow Mage, follow Jazzy. See you soon. Bye bye.
Just Draws. That's my Instagram handle, by the way.
Jazzy Ross. Yeah.
Draws.
We'll add it in the comment section.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you for having me, Mage Kovin. And Nishant, thank you for this lovely interview.